Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Speedy's Garage YouTube channel. I'm going to jump right into it today. We're going to pretty much finish up the shop build series. I know it's been a little while since I've had a segment on the shop. I've been really enjoying it. Spent a lot of time out here, and it's met all of the needs and been a great place to do work. So the point when I built it was for it to be fun, a good atmosphere to be in, and it not feel like work when I was out here, because sometimes working on these cars, it can get frustrating, and I wanted to have a nice, comfortable place to do that. And I took some of the things that I did and things that I learned from other people and tried to share them with you guys in the shop build series, and I'll link to that playlist to the top. I never finished it though, so really that's what I'm going to do today. I think this is probably the last segment. There might be one more, I don't know. We'll kind of see how things go, but really it's about finish. I talked about the plumbing, the electrical, the paint, the brick, the building process, the permit process I had to go through with the city, and all of that stuff. So let's finish it up today. Stick around. I'm going to show you what we got. And first things first, I've got to get Go Man Go out of the way. And to start this off, I'm going to show you a couple of things. If you notice, let's see right here, how the eave of the shop actually lines up with the eave of the house. Well, that was intentional. I wanted it to look like it belonged, like it was about the same size as the house. The house is 2 stories though, so that changed things a bit. Plus, I wanted a very large garage door. This is an 18 by 10 garage door, so it's a nice big opening. You can put a variety of vehicles in and out. You got plenty of room to do that. But there was a side effect as a result of those 2 things. And because of the eave being tall, it meant I also have high ceilings, which was another good thing. And when talking to the builder, I wanted a provision in case I ever wanted to put a lift in the shop, a full-on lift. I wanted to have plenty of room to do that. And I believe the ceiling height had to be like 14 feet or something like that, is what the bin pack is, the one I used as a reference. And they said you needed 14 feet. I was going to have the crossbar going across the top so that the floor was completely open. Wouldn't have to roll creepers or anything over the crossbar being on the floor. I did put the electrical plug up on the ceiling back there so that if I eventually put the lift in, at the time I was positive I would do it. I even had concrete poured 3 by 3 foot pads that are actually like 10 inches thick, I think. I'm doing it from memory, so they're 8, 10 inches thick, something like that. And I've got a diagram where they're marked in the center so that I knew where to put the lift posts. And then in the ceiling, you can see I also have a cutout or recess, and that was so that I could get access to those posts if I ever had to do maintenance on them. So bin pack said you needed 14 feet. The builder and I talked about it. They said, hey, we'll do a 12-foot ceiling, which is what these are. It'll make your eave line up with your house, and cubic square feet of the space, you won't have to heat and cool all that extra 14-foot ceiling space. You can cap that off at 12, get some efficiency there, and then we'll do you a recess in the ceiling for if you ever put your lift in, you can maintain or do whatever you need to do maintenance-wise on the top of the post. So that's why it's set up the way it is, and it's a nice big open space, and I really like it. The side effect is that little door right there, and that's the problem. And that problem is the attic. So it was only like an extra 30 bucks or something. I can't remember. It was super cheap to have them actually finish out the floor of the attic and make it all storage space. And that's what I wanted. In the house, I have a man door that you walk through and you're in the attic, and I could, almost the whole entire upstairs attic of the house is all floored. And my dad and I actually did that, but I had the builder do this one as part of the shop build. And you can store a bunch of stuff up there. It was kind of wasted space if I didn't put flooring in it. I think it was 30 or 40 bucks or something. It was super cheap to have them do that while they were here. I didn't think about, or at least I didn't realize, how much trouble it would be to actually get things from down here up into the attic. The only option I could find at the time was that attic stair assembly. And I'll show you that to you now. You can see it's 12 feet off the ground, so you can't just reach up there and grab a rope and pull it down. Also, have to move the car out of the way to even get access to that. So it's a little bit of a chore. And as a result, I end up piling boxes in the corner because I don't feel like going through all the effort and trouble to pull that down to put them in the attic. So finally got off my lazy butt. I'm going to put some of these in the attic today, and I thought it would be a good time to show you guys what all's involved. There are a couple of solutions, which is why I may have one more video about the shop. There's some lift options that you can get. They're not super expensive, I don't think, but relatively they might be compared to that attic stairs. I can't remember what that was, maybe 200 bucks for that, the little lift things, and I'll try to find some links to them and leave them in the description. But they come down and you load them up, and it's like a pulley system or a winch that pulls like a tray up into the attic. And I'm probably going to eventually have to go to something like that if I'm going to keep using it, because honestly it's probably been 2 years since I've even been up there because it's such a pain in the butt. For starters, I have to use this pole, see if I can even get to it. It's got a hook on the end of it. And then I have to kind of play fisherman and try to get the hook on the eye. Ah, missed. Come on. Oh, there we go. And this is step one to pulling the ladder down. And now I can't reach that, so now I have to get a ladder to get the ladder. I'm gonna flip the light on up there real quick, and I definitely recommend doing these illuminated switches. So now it's on, I know it's on, and if I go through the process of putting everything back up and hiding the ladder back in the ceiling, I won't forget I left the lights on up there when I go to close the shop down. So that was definitely a plus I would recommend doing. And honestly, to this point, it's not a huge deal. I mean, you have to get a ladder to get the ladder and use the little pole and everything, but first time I did, I thought, nah, that's not that big a deal. The big deal is trying to climb this ladder carrying a bunch of stuff. So that's where things get pretty tricky, and it's not too bad till you get kind of up there close to the top. So I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like up there and show you kind of how we floored the ceiling in or floored the attic in. But I'm going to have to definitely find another solution to this ladder as far as getting items up and into the attic. So here's the floored up attic. Pretty basic, but tons of storage space. And I figured I would just stop it right there. That is the recess where the lift pieces would go. So really I don't know how big this is, maybe 20 by 20, something like that. So quite a bit of storage space that I could definitely make better use of with an easier way to get up here. Here's another look. I did bring some stuff up here a while back. There's part of the rubber mat I used to insulate the compressor room, some spare bulbs and stuff like that. Some Challenger parts. Extra panel for the garage door for insulation. And I've started a few boxes over here in the corner. And so you can see there's wheel boxes and a few other things, so there's plenty of room, but I've just got to figure out a better way. And of course, climbing down is just as tedious. And like I said, when you get towards the top, you can see the problem. Your feet can't really fit on the stairs that well because of the backing of the door itself, so it makes it a little interesting until you get to a point where your toes poke through. If I sound nervous, it's because I am. There we go. Once you get to this step, your toe can poke through. It's really not that big a deal, but up here, that's a little sketchy. So what I've been checking into is some kind of lift system, like I said. I think, now obviously I have to watch out for those braces, I don't know what they're called, the A-frame pieces that go into the roof and support everything. But I was thinking maybe somewhere right there between those lights. Remember, I've got wiring now I'm gonna have to be worried about. I wish I had thought of this before they finished the shop, because I probably would have just done it and had it included as part of the build, and I imagine it would have been less expensive too. But I was thinking maybe right there, if I could get like a 4x6 panel that would lower down and I could stack things on it and then raise it back up, that would be ideal. Preferably, I'd rather not have to get the car out of here in order to use it, but I think that ship has sailed. I don't think there's any way around having to move the car out. So that just kind of is what it is. But if you've got some ideas, or if you've used a product that you know works really well for a situation like I'm in, please leave me a comment below and let me know what you got. That's one of the things I got to try to figure out long term. It's been a couple of years. I've really not used the attic as a result of this problem. So out of all the things I did in the shop and all the research that I did, I felt like I got most things right. I spent a lot of time really looking into how to build it, and I hope some of those tips in that playlist that I linked help some of you guys that might be looking to build a shop. I talked to several people probably for a year that had garages built. I went on Garage Journal, garagejournal.com I think is the name of the website. Talked to a ton of people on there and tried to get as much advice as I could when I built the shop. And so far everything's worked out great. The soundproof closet for the compressor, I mean, you can barely even hear the thing run. That was great. That was great advice. I mean, I'm standing 2 feet from that compressor and I can have a normal conversation without yelling. So that's been nice. The paint and everything worked out great. The mini split AC system, it will heat and cool this thing for nothing. That was a good suggestion. Put some entertainment in. So all that stuff worked out great. The only thing that really hasn't is the attic, and if that's really all I got wrong, then I'm not doing too bad, I don't guess. But please leave me some comments. Let me know what ideas you've got to solve that problem. Well, that's it for today. I got to get my exercise and carry all this stuff up those stairs and get it into the attic and hopefully not kill myself in the process. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. It's @Speedys_garage, as well as the website, www.speedysgarage.net, and hopefully I'll see you out there.